taxing unrealized gains. It's not just a bad idea, it's a direct threat to your financial security, and most people, they just don't realize it. This new tax proposal aims to target the wealthy. But history shows us that it won't stop there, because over time, these crazy policies that this government's taking us through right now, all these things they're doing, are trickling down, and they're going to impact everyone. Homeowners, retirees, even regular folks with small investments. So if this proposal becomes law, you could find yourself facing a massive tax bill on money you've never seen. It could force families to sell their homes. It could drain retirement savings and put financial futures at serious risk. So this is the kind of policy that can change everything. You need to know about this, how to protect yourself. This is really important. Before you take your voting, this is not a political video at all, but just before you understand all these different policies that this government wants to put through. So we're going to dive into something I think super important for anybody who owns a home or invests in property or has family and their wealth is all tied up in real estate. This new tax proposal taxing unrealized capital gains is a disaster, like I said, for everyone, like everyday folks, just like me and you. You might be thinking, I don't have a lot of money, or I don't have a lot of investments. Why should I care? But trust me, by the end of the video, you'll see why we all need to be concerned. So there are several articles about this and videos you can look at, but I'm kind of summarizing this for you because first I like to talk about the history of income taxes. Why do we talk, what's taxes in the general? What did it come from? Well, it started back in 1913, but the tax rate was 7% then. But you had to be making $500,000 a year to hit that rate. And if you adjust for inflation, that's like making $1 million today. Who's making $1 million a year? Not many people. Now, the reason this matters is because it shows us something really important. Because tax proposals, guys, they often start by targeting the wealthy. And like I said, here's the catch. It never stops there. Because over time, like I said before, it does trickle down, hits everyone, not just the rich. So when we hear about new taxes, especially on things like unrealized gains, come on now, we should be really paying attention. So Diane, what are these unrealized gains? So let's talk about what they are and let me explain your story, okay? Imagine your grandmother. Let's call her Nana. Everyone has a Nana, right? She bought her home 40 years ago and she bought it for, say, $80,000. Now, Nana and Grandpa, they raised their family there. They had countless Sunday dinners and made memories. They filled the house with love. It wasn't just a house, it was a home, their home. But fast forward to today, that home is now, say, worth $500,000. Well, that's a $420,000 increase in value, right? But here's the catch. Nana hasn't sold the house, so she hasn't seen a penny of that profit. She's still living in it, like she has been for decades. But under this new proposal, Nana would be taxed as if she sold the house. And she made this huge profit, which she didn't. And even though she's still living in it. So let's kind of crunch these numbers a little bit more. We talked about her buying the house, Nana, for $80,000. And now it's worth $500, right? Unrealized tax gain, $420. So you're probably thinking, well, doesn't she get an exemption? Well, there's a tax exemption for primary residence, but here's the kicker. It's only $250,000 for a single homeowner, and that exemption hasn't changed in decades with the times. So after the exemption, she's still left with a $170,000 taxable gain. So under this proposed tax plan, she'd owe 25% on that unrealized gain that's over $42,000. Where's Nana supposed to get her $42,000? She's not making that kind of money anymore. Her wealth is tied up in her home. She's living on a fixed income, maybe her Social Security, and a bit of savings. So what's going to happen here? This is actually going to be in place. And if you're learning something here in this video, give it the like button, high five, smash it. I'm looking to get 600 subscribers by the end of the month. Just help a girl out. Anyway, next, what are the real consequences here? So really, where does it really start to hurt Nana? Because Nana's home has been the heart of the family for years. It's where her family got together for holidays. Kids were playing in the backyard, but because of this new tax, she has to now sell it. She's not ready to sell it, but she has to. And her home, the place she loves, why? Because she has to pay off this tax bill on gains she's never even seen. Well, that's the reality of taxing unrealized gains. Think about it. Nana's not rich. She's just someone who's lived in her home for decades, but this policy would literally force her out to liquidate her most valuable asset, which is her home, just to pay a tax. And it's not just her. This could happen to retirees across the country. So if you're one of them, you should be fighting against this bill. And these are people, your retirees, you're people who thought your homes would be part of your legacy. And realistically, it's not just about homes. Think about it. What if Nana owned a small rental property? Maybe a duplex that she uses to supplement her retirement income. And a lot of my retirees do. That would get taxed too. So this really kind of hits people who've worked very hard all their lives and now they're getting taxed on the retirement savings. And doesn't even take into consideration any work you did on the house throughout the years, such as putting a new roof on or maybe redoing a kitchen or bath. We're not even asking for that. So we need to push back, guys. Because the bigger picture, my friends, is that this kind of tax policy will hurt the economy and it's going to hurt people who don't have anyone speaking up for them. And it might start with the rich, but it never stops there. Because eventually, it'll impact middle-class families and small business owners and retirees. So what can we do? Well, when you hear about tax proposals like this, you have to stop and say, wait a minute, what's the bigger plan here? It's not enough just to accept the higher taxes. We need to push back, ask questions, and demand better solutions from our government, right? So now I know that taxes and policy can all feel overwhelming, but these are the kinds of things that affect our everyday lives, our homes here in Philadelphia, here all across the country, our savings and our families. So if you can take away one thing from this video, let it be this, that when you hear about tax proposals, any tax, especially like taxing unrealized gains, don't think this won't affect me because one day it just might. Anytime you hear tax, raise taxes, it's going to be not just against the wealthy, it's going to be against everybody. It's like history repeating itself. So stay informed. Speak up. This is your home you're talking about. Let your voice be heard. More great content is coming your way about this and about homes and everything going on with the world right now as far as real estate is concerned. I'll see you on the next video.